Good afternoon, you lovable bunch of bastards. Welcome to Cryptid Conversations from the Legends Cave. I'm your host, Brother Blue. With me today, the rest of my co-hosts. We have Michelle drinks coffee,
I'm not Michelle
Jasper.
drinks coffee today.
Huh?
I'm not Michelle drinks coffee today.
Well, no. Well, we'll get into that. Torsten and the lovable Kate. We have an interesting episode. We're going to go pound for pound. We're going to go back and forth about which sea-dwelling creature is best, the mermaids or the sirens. But before we do that, Kate is going to tell us how the point system is going to work today. Go ahead, Kate.
Well, I didn't really have time to make anything fancy, so I just wrote it down on paper here. But you each have 50 points. The goal is to not go very low. So we're going to keep it at 50. I will subtract points when needed. And, well, you won't know when I'm subtracting points, so.
Okie dokie. Well, first up, we have Torsten and Jasper going to bring to us the information about the mermaids. The fanciful little creatures. These things, these flourish of life creatures that swim in the ocean.
Passive, beautiful, non-predatory.
These non-predatory fish people.
Accessories.
Yes, I'll agree with that. Accessories. Go ahead, guys.
Do you want to go first or shall I?
Oh, you can go first.
All right. To know whether the siren or the mermaids are the better cryptid, you first have to know a little bit about both. So I prepared a little bit of information about mermaids. The key difference between mermaids and siren lies in their nature and intent. Mermaids are often depicted as having a human upper body and a fish tail, and are generally benevolent or at least not as inherently malevolent. Sirens, on the other hand, are predatory and dangerous, using their enchanting voices to lure sailors to their doom.
And these.
And and using their big chesticles to tempt men.
Mermaids appear in folklore in many cultures worldwide, including Europe, Latin America, Asia, and Africa. Mermaids are sometimes associated with perilous events such as storms, shipwrecks, and drownings, and are often seen as omens. In in other folk traditions, or sometimes within the same traditions, they can be benevolent or beneficent, bestowing boons or falling in love with humans. The male equivalent of the mermaid is the merman, also a familiar figure in the folklore and heraldry. Although traditions are about and reported sightings of mermen are less common than those of mermaids, they are in folklore generally assumed to coexist with their female counterparts. The male and female collectively are sometimes referred to as merfolk or merpeople.
Merfolk.
Merfolk.
A small tidbit about sirens. Some people believe that sirens changed from being described as bird-like to fish-like due to the words wing and fin in the Greek language being designated by the same word. Sirens and mermaids. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, we're also known for our temptation and our danger, our feminine power and our manipulation.
Yes.
Very, very woman-like.
Yes, Joseph. Yes.
We're also irresistible. And we lure sailors to their doom.
Okay. Next.
Sorry.
Sirens and mermaids have many similarities, one being the theory that they have gills and quite possibly also lungs, so essentially having a double breathing system, making it easier to breathe above and beneath the surface of the ocean. One difference between sirens and mermaids is how many live in a pod, which is what the group of mermaids or sirens is called. Sirens typically live in groups of 2 to 3, according to a little bit of research that I did, whilst mermaids pods are typically made up of multiple families, making it a much larger group. A little bit of research.
Pay no attention to the man behind the mask.
Yes, pay no attention to the reverb on that.
Blue, I should mention, I mean, if you want to keep doing that, I can just keep docking points if you like.
I'm making faces at the comment section. I'm not making faces at her. I'm reacting to the comment section. I'm not reacting to Jasper. I'm reacting to the comment section.
Continue, Jasper.
Another difference
Dock me for
between
that. That's not fair. I'm a human cartoon.
Another difference between mermaids and sirens is their diet. Sirens lure men to their death and then consume their bodies, whilst mermaids are theorized to eat seaweed, kelp, and other marine vegetation. Though in the show H2O Just Add Water, when one of the girls accidentally puts a spell on a human being, causing him to buy her copious amounts of seafood, such as lobster and shellfish, which she absolutely gorges herself on until they break the spell. Now that we know a little bit about mermaids, I'm going to pass it off to Torsten.
Hey, lovely people. Mermaids in history and popular culture. Now, mermaids have been depicted and written about since the times of the ancient Greeks. And there is one very famous mermaid in Greek mythology who was a Gorgon as well, known as Medusa. Now, people say, Medusa turned men to stone. Nah. Yeah, she was scorned. She was scorned. So I think that's, me personally, I think that's where they got the saying, hell have no fury as a woman scorned. But that's my own thing. Now, as for mermaids in popular culture, they have been written about since the 18th century in very famous literatures, most famously by a very nice man known as Hans Christian Andersen, who we
The
can
Little
thank
Mermaid.
But that is
for
like
the
the
listen.
bubblegum pop version of.
Oh,
Little Mermaid.
no. The original version of The Little Mermaid is not the sweet and innocent story that you see by Disney in the animated film, not the debacle of the live action. It is a very, very darker story of The Little Mermaid. And films go back all the way to 1904 was the first film that ever had a mermaid in it. It was a silent movie that was 4 minutes long. And we go all the way through to the most latest film in 2024, which is last year, which was a horror adaptation. The truer adaptation of Hans Christian Andersen's story. The Mermaid has also been in other famous films. Harry Potter. She has been in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And many, many books have been written about said creatures from the 1800s up to modern day. Most famously, Hans Christian Andersen's one. She's been in there's what?
You're saying many, many iterations, but I feel like you also missed the fact that Disney bastardized it and turned it into
Will you let me get to
The
it?
Little Mermaid, and also turned it,
We're
used it in the
sirens.
show,
We do not have the capacity to.
and then also used it in the show Once Upon a Time.
Patience is a virtue.
For merfolk. For us, it is no.
Okay. As I was saying,
Anyway,
again, as I was saying,
I'm going to be the
on
reason
with
why
it.
my team loses this.
you are going to get my foot up your ass.
Arr!
If you,
How do you know? I
Alright,
might like it. Don't make me bring out Mr. Pink.
Ooh.
Don't make me say your full name.
Don't you? No.
okay. From the first iteration, which was Hans Christian Andersen back in 1863, there have been over 300 stories written about the mermaids. Not so much on the mermen. There is very little mention of them in popular culture,
You know
only
why?
to say that they exist.
You know why there's no mention of the mermen? Because they're hanging out with the sirens.
They make
Points.
they make appearances in such how could I
Television?
cult classics
Okay.
as The Witcher, The Spiderwick Chronicles, The Sisters Grimm,
Blech.
The Shadow over Innsmouth, and The Sea Fairies. They also make an appearance in
Actually, The Sea Fairies was a good
1915
book.
in The Scarecrow of Oz in books. Now, when it comes to films, obviously the most famous one is the Disney animated film, The Little Mermaid. Animated one, not so bad. Live
It's
action one was seriously, as Blue has mentioned, bastardized. The animated one was as well, but not as badly. It was an interpretation of the story for children to understand. Now, they also make very famous appearances in Peter Pan, along with another live action movie called Splash, which I think is a really funny movie, by the way.
It is. Tom Hanks is hilarious.
Yes.
Can-
Also,
I'll give
in
that one
Hook,
to you. I'll give that one to you because Splash is like one of those like iconic like 80s like you love those movies. Like
yes.
Turner and Hooch. You turn if you're changing the channels, you find Turner and Hooch on, you just end up watching it.
You said hooch.
Hooch.
And it might surprise people to know that the animated version of The Little Mermaid was actually made in the 1980s. Mermaids also make an appearance in Hook. Another brilliant movie. Sorry, absolutely brilliant telling of the Peter Pan story, along with newer films as the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Tom and Jerry, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe, along with their own stories of
Bored
right.
girls swimming around in the ocean, showing their boobies to sailors. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
but they're quite clean in
It's
depiction.
girls. No offense. It's girls on spring break.
Ah, it's the Woo Girls. Woo!
You got a hot tour on that thing. Sorry. Anyway.
Well, no, it's because every movie depiction
We broke Kate.
of
Yeah.
a
That's okay. I
mermaid,
just broke
they
my
are-
light.
they always have something covering the top. So they seem to be more modest.
Yeah, modesty is not one of my greater values.
No.
Shit. Anyway.
Through my research as well, there seems to be a lot of the Scandinavian countries that like to compose music about the merfolk.
Because the Scandinavians
From
like the good girls.
the 18th
The rest of the
century,
world like the bad girls.
There's a reason why Scandinavians are all blonde hair and blue eyed.
from the 18th century, there's a
I love how it
sea
just keeps
shanty
He
going.
just kept going on that one.
called
He wasn't
Keeper of
touching it.
the Eddystone Light, a symphonic poem by Alexander von Zeminski's, a 20th century song called Minnie the Mermaid, which has been formed by various artists such as Bunny Cummings and his Hotel New Yorker Orchestra and Phil Harris.
Blue's
More
boobs are
recently-
shaking. You might want to go ahead and call him.
More recently, not so many songs. There are also TV shows.
Love, you want to call him Blue?
What, Blue? Go ahead, Blue.
I just want to make comment on Hook, Pirates of the Caribbean,
It's pronounced
had
Caribbean.
mermaids. Whatever. I'm not a
Are
nautical
we going to get
person.
our 20 minutes to talk about siren culture and history? Because this rap battle is going to get real weird if we only have one side.
He's been going on for a long time. Did we get our chance
Hey.
to talk?
There is a hell of a lot of information.
I'm
And
feeling,
this is just a
I'm feeling
Oh.
some kind of way right now.
Well, Torsten, how about we wrap it up because we are like 20 minutes in.
I will just finish this off. They also make appearances in television, video games, and are also mascots of sports teams.
There are no porns about mermaids. I'm just saying. It's all sirens.
Yes, there are.
There's even a show called Sirens.
Do I have to remind you about a particular rule that's out there? If it exists, there is porn.
That's true.
It's true. I'm
Just saying.
Don't look up Yeti porn.
don't. It's a
Don't. Just don't. Not worth
Can
it.
I? Okay, so is it our turn? Can I give like a brief 5-minute, like less than 5 minute?
Go ahead. All right, Torsten, are we done on your side for now?
What I will leave you with is one of the most famous coffee companies in the world also uses a mermaid as their freaking branding logo. Starbucks.
Blue does not have any patience, and I'm with him on that. I just read that comment. I agree.
You did miss one movie. It's called Aquaman, and it is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
There you go.
we appreciate your
Got
dive
it.
into sirens.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hi. I'm
officially lost
chomping at the
brain
bit over
cells.
here. Hi.
Go ahead, Michelle.
So brief. I'm gonna try to keep this
Brief.
brief, or debriefed. So sirens were first seen in Homer's The Odyssey. That was somewhere around 700 BC or BCE. I think it's BCE, right? Yeah, before current era. Hold on, let me get back up to the top. Yes, sirens were originally half birdish, half woman, later merged into the mermaid mythology and imagery in the Western folklore we know. We are known, and I say we because I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am a siren today. We are known for our irresistible, deadly singing that lures sailors to their doom.
I think it's a song.
No, we're also extremely saucy, sassy. We do what we want. While mermaids are out there looking for love, being all cute and showing everybody their tails.
Sirens are just out there for the hookup
Exactly.
and the meat.
Yeah. We're here
So
for
the hoes of the
temptation.
sea.
Yeah.
No. Well,
Yeah. No,
kind
we
of.
are.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But also,
Own it.
not only are they going to hook up with you, but
We're
they're
gonna
going to
kill
eat you
you.
too.
And then we're going to eat you. We might eat you first or kill you first. We don't know yet. We haven't
Depending on
decided.
what our preference is. I mean, there might be a siren out there that wants to, munch some carpet before she goes.
We're
Hold on.
mysterious. Hi.
What you guys are saying?
This is going to
pretty
be a
much
bad episode.
You guys are black widows. Just call it as is. You're black
Yeah.
widows.
Yes, but we don't marry them because that's no fun. We're mysterious.
No, we just want our play toys.
Yes, we do. I identify as a meat popsicle. Anyway,
No, that's me. Stop stealing my line.
I knew you were going to say it. We are mysterious and seductive and unapologetically powerful. Over time, the history, the culture of sirens has shifted. The modern archetype now is the dark feminine, confident, commanding, and we are not here for your approval.
The
So,
dominant moment of the sea.
Ursula.
okay. All right. Sure.
We are Ursula.
So just a little bit of sirens in pop culture. I don't know if any of you, I think I'm the old one here, except for Blue Baby is a little bit. Oh, brother, where art thou?
Yes, I do remember that.
The
Mhm.
sirens, the ladies in
Yep.
Oh, brother, without thou, where art thou? The Lighthouse from 2019 also featured a siren. That was one of the theories of what happened to the. I'm blanking on the name of the lighthouse. But-
I can't remember the name of the lighthouse either, but
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I know the movie you're talking about.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, yes, there's a lot of stuff about mermaids, but it's all cutesy and popish, and mermaids are
fuck
going to
that.
be the ones who are going to trade their beautiful voices for legs to go marry a mortal mermaid, little mermaid. Sirens are going to eat the mortal and then leave him for, shark leftovers.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, we're gonna talk. All right, now I'm gonna say a little bit about this in the original Greek mythology, as Jasper had said before. Sirens were part bird, part woman, commanding the air and sea. Later folklore merged them with mermaids to give them more of an aesthetic look. But the one thing that has never changed about them in their lore is the fact that they can, as soon as they leave the water, they can grow their bottom appendage becomes legs, human legs.
And then they
And
get
they-
a vagina.
And then they can go onto land to seek out their prey.
Yes.
So,
Weaponized.
let's say a sailor, got away from them,
Which has happened.
and
I've done
which
that
has
before.
happened. If you look in the Iliad and the Odyssey,
Mhm.
he got away. But I'm just gonna say this: he if somebody gets away from them, they'll remember the scent of the person on the sea, and they'll follow them, and they'll find them on land and woo them with their magical vocal cords and bring them in, so that way they
Okay.
trust them.
What I just heard there is we have magical throats.
Yes, they have magical throats. Anyway, and
This is what you signed up for. Did you expect any less?
and sirens, while they're prey is asleep will murder them and bring them back to the sea to
Like
feed.
alligators.
Yes. So,
Hi. Wait, hold on. Question from the audience.
question from the audience.
Jasper.
By audience, do you mean me?
Yes.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Jasper.
Jasper?
do they specifically only murder that person, or if they're with their family, do they also murder their family?
Done. The whole we're gonna wipe them out,
the whole
all of
family
them.
will be taken.
Yeah, wipe them out, all of them. I feel like that's from a movie, isn't it?
So they're psychopaths.
Yes.
Yes.
They're horny psychopaths.
Yes.
Yes.
For a typical woman.
They
Yes.
love murder mysteries. They love true crime,
Oh,
and they're
yeah,
gonna go
yeah.
after you.
We are timeless.
They're that ex-girlfriend that
feminine.
still follows you.
So they're basically any woman from like the West.
Any woman from my
Wow.
past. Anyway.
We're weaponized femininity. That's what sirens are. Weaponized femininity. When men didn't know how to deal with strong women, they would bucket those women into these siren roles where,
Shark bait. Ooh, ha
whatever.
ha.
Shark bait. Okay, yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So I think we've got to the definitions part. So we're 30 minutes in. So now it's time for the rap battle.
Okay.
All right.
You want to go
They
first,
went
Michelle?
first.
Michelle, you go first.
I think they went first. So they should come back and give us our first reason to be debated of why mermaids are better than sirens.
Go for it. Let's go.
Go ahead, love.
Do this.
Hans
Just
Christian
think about it for
Andersen.
one. That's why.
Odysseus.
That's not a
They're-
reason. That's a name.
They're a tale of caution.
Yeah, watch out for crazy
What?
bitches. Anyway.
Okay, but why? But why does that make mermaids better than sirens?
Because sirens are psychotic and just want to kill.
Yes.
Mermaids are going to teach you something. You're
Fear
going to
lasts
learn a
longer.
lesson from them.
We have you ever heard the saying, "Never stick your dick in crazy"?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sirens are the
I've been told
epitome
that
of it.
before.
I do. I do that. She's down there.
Hee hee.
Oh, good Lord.
That's the definition of crazy, but
Okay.
there we go.
So I will retort to that and say, while I think you're incorrect with your belief in such tale, the danger disguised as beauty is poetic. I don't think you can get any better than that. It's feminist folklore fuel. Like that's what we are.
I mean, also you got to think about it this way too. Sirens, yes, are a cautionary tale, but also they're that dark, mysterious woman that you see across the room, and you go, I don't know if I want to run from her or run to her.
At that
You
point,
know?
he's probably gonna be stepping on you.
Mostly too. I mean, seriously, have you seen us? We're kind of awesome.
True.
Yeah, I'd rather deal with a little bit of crazy than psycho. Crazy I can deal with. Psychotic, not so much.
Oh,
Yeah, I want to be able to wake up in the morning.
yeah, so do most people.
Yeah, I don't want to be dragged into the sea.
Mermaids are wish fulfillment,
Yes.
They're
whereas
not
sirens
fulfillment.
have their own autonomy. They are their own
Yes.
thing. They are power personified in female /fish form, and sit there and pine for people. They don't sit there and want.
They're not going to sit.
They know
on
what
a
they
rock
are.
and wish.
They know what they are, and they
Yeah.
accept it.
Yes, but not every mermaid pines after a man.
Most of them.
BS in every single
the-
iteration I've ever seen in for mermaids, they go after. Oh, I fell in love with this sailor, and I'm willing to give up my fins for them. I'm willing to go on land and be away from
Right.
my
They love-
family forever, just to
a
be
lot
with
of
him.
A lot of popular culture has misinterpreted it. There are rules behind it.
Please go ahead and elaborate said rules.
There are two ways that a mermaid comes to be with a human man. One, the human man steals their object, a comb, a cap, something, and hides it. But if the mermaid finds it, they are returned straight to the sea. Or they make a deal, and if the deal is not upheld, they can return back to the sea. It's a contract.
Okay. Go ahead, Michelle.
So in everything that I have ever seen about mermaids, the whole concept is the mermaids are dreaming and wishing to be something else. Specifically, the merfolk are just dreaming to become human. Sirens are the ones who remind you that you're mortal. They're going to give up their voice and their personality for a man. We're going to use it to wreck you.
I feel like mermaids don't really pine after the humans to become human. I feel like they're jealous of sirens who can walk on the land, and that's why they want to be with humans so that they can actually walk on the land.
So jealousy. Okay. All right. You're jealous of us.
So they're jealous of the sirens, who are the true queens of the deep. And I'm going to agree with the one comment on here that Joseph said. It says, I would say that if you want to go out with a smile, meet a siren. Absolutely.
It's true.
Unless they're eating you alive.
Oh, I think that's probably the fun of it.
That's the fun of it later.
But if you go back if you look at the story, the badass of badasses when it comes to fuck around and find out was a mermaid that was scorned, named Medusa.
Okay, she wasn't a mermaid. She was a priestess in a temple. You're getting the legend wrong.
She was an Gorgon.
She was a mermaid that got turned to a Gorgon.
She was a priestess that was taken.
You're gonna make me get
temple.
ChatGPT involved, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I think we've concluded round 1. Here's why I think sirens are better than mermaids. We're older, darker, and way more powerful.
Cougars.
We win. We're cougars. Yes, exactly.
The ultimate cougar.
Yeah, that's why we're better. We already know how to do all the fun stuff.
And you don't have to you don't have to teach them how to do it. It's
exactly.
a great thing.
We're going to be the ones who do that thing that you like.
Yeah, but you're also going to do some things that we don't like.
That's fine with me.
Worth the trade?
Listen, I don't like anything in my ass, but you know what? If I'm feeling squirrely, a pinky's fine.
This hole. Yeah, I'd rather not lose this and become shark bait. Thank you very much.
Well, if you treat her right, you won't get to be shark bait.
Oh, please, you're a bunch of psychotics.
That's the thing.
Oh, look,
we all want the
girl a man in
that...
a freaking boat. Oh, I'm hungry.
Thank you,
I'm
Joseph. Joseph just verified it. She was a priestess of Athena, not a mermaid. Ha!
In Greek mythology, mermaids were beautiful creatures that lured sailors to their doom by their singing melodies.
and they weren't turned
The
into a
most
gorgon.
famous Greek mermaid was the Gorgon
Cite your
Medusa.
sources.
She's not a mermaid.
Cite your sources. And if you say
this would
Wikipedia,
be,
I'm going to send you back to your room.
History 18.
What is it?
It's a website called history18.com.
Okay.
That sounds
Anything with 18 in it sounds like this fucking generation's version of, well, I don't really know, so I'm just going to put down some bullshit facts.
Yeah, but you can't just, because you read it on a website, like, what's the source?
Because the way I always heard it, she was a priestess of Athena that was taken by Poseidon in Athena's
How
temple.
did Medusa become a Gorgon? Medusa became a Gorgon because of a brutal divine punishment rooted in Greek mythology, and it was not her fault. Medusa was a beautiful mortal woman, often described as a priestess serving in Athena's temple. Good job, Joseph.
The quintessential Gorgon was Medusa, the only mortal of the three sister mermaids.
In Roman culture, she was a mermaid. You said Greek.
Greek.
No, in Roman culture.
Medusa was not Mormon, okay? Or not Mormon.
Roman.
I don't think
the myth of Medusa.
She did not
The
worship
myth
Joseph
of
Smith.
Medusa in Greek mythology. The quintessential Gorgon was Medusa, the only mortal of the three sister mermaids.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
I don't believe it.
No. Well,
Roman culture says she was a mermaid,
You
and
can show
Greek
me.
culture says she was a priestess, and she was a mortal woman. She wasn't a mermaid. So, therefore, I'm going with what I learned as a person who loves history. I'm going to say she was a priestess. She was not. You gave unactual identifiable proof.
Over time,
You
she
used
evolved into
Roman
a simple
history, not Greek history.
Yeah. Over time, she evolved from a simple monster to a symbol of feminine rage, injustice, and misunderstood power. I get that.
She could have been the predecessor to the Sirens,
Okay.
if you want.
Okay. So,
Just saying.
I still didn't hear a retort to "we're older, darker, and way more powerful."
Yeah.
I heard no defense of
Show
that.
you geriatrics.
I'll show you geriatric.
I am going to stay out of this conversation.
Whilst you may be the pregnant older woman that you are, who would absolutely be a Dami mommy.
It's true.
Oh, yes.
It's true.
Sirens are dummy mommies. Exactly.
Yes, but age doesn't equate to experience.
Yes.
In everything.
Understood. Yes.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. There's the old adage, youth and exuberance is no match for old age and treachery.
I will trick a fucker into the ocean from their boat faster than a mermaid will go, hey man, look at my pretty boobs and my shells.
Do you know how many times I have used old age and treachery to get out of having to be in a bar fight?
Does it work?
Yes.
Hey, what's that? Yeah.
Look, the moneymaker's still good. I'm all right. Wow. Okay, nobody left at that. All right, never mind.
Anyway.
I'm fucking laughing. I'm just muted.
Okay.
I still feel like, we won that one, but
I still think we win.
Do you
that's
want
my opinion.
the
And
next?
us being canceled on getting points reducted because of the fact that we were pointing out loopholes. I'm sorry.
So
now you guys are tied. So you guys, you're tied.
It's their
so I need a tiebreaker.
It's their turn for a why. why are mermaids better than sirens? What's your best argument?
My argument's going to be family, because mermaids their pods are multiple groups of families. Therefore, they can help each other more and aren't going to be more solitary, and they can help each other gather food, which keeps them away from humans, which keeps them from eating humans, which keeps me alive.
People suck. I don't want to be in a pod of a bunch of people, though.
Okay, but every time you see sirens depicted, there's always 3 of them together, so they hunt in threes.
Yeah, 2 to 3 is typical for a pod of sirens.
Mhm.
Is that where we're going? We're going on a pod?
Yeah, pod is a pod of sirens.
What they're called.
Okay.
Pods.
I would say school. Since
What
they're
is
kind
a group
fishy.
of sirens called?
It's a pod of dolphins, not a school of dolphins.
Yeah, but it's a school of
Good
fish.
fish.
They're actually referred to as a lure of sirens, or
A lure?
chorus, or a
Ooh,
chorus of sirens.
a chorus of I like that one, a chorus.
Me too.
Because they use their voice, their magical voices to lure you in.
And you can't have a chorus without more than one.
Exactly.
Often referred to as possibly a shipwreck of sirens.
I've met some shipwrecks in my day.
Shipwreck, car crash, Looney Tunes.
Give Looney Tunes.
For me.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
If you were ever caught, you'd be on. If you were ever known, you'd be on the FBI's most wanted list, and you'd be locked up in a max security prison and the key thrown away.
How do you know I'm not already on the FBI's most wanted list?
Michelle.
It wouldn't surprise me if you were.
Shush. Exactly. All bad things come in threes. I agree.
3
Joseph.
seconds. That's a bad thing.
For legal
Right, that's always
purposes,
a
that would be
thing.
true. She is not part of the wanted list for the FBI.
For legal purposes, yes.
Take it on-
And if the FBI is watching, we didn't do it. Anyway.
And if you are watching, leave a like, share, and subscribe.
Right?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Jasper for the win. That's an extra point right there.
Yeah, that was a good one. Damn it.
So while I understand the need for family as being a reason why mermaids are better than sirens, I will have a dissenting opinion that not everybody needs a large group of. Not everybody needs a family. A lot of people and animals are either solitary hunters, small pack hunters. You don't need 52 wolves to take down a black bear. You need 3 or 4. Don't come at me if that number is wrong. I'm just throwing stuff out there, but there's a lot of safety in numbers, but there's also a lot of security in a small number. Because the smaller your circle, the more trust you have in your circle.
Mm.
Until
I mean,
those
A secret between 3 can be kept if 2 are already dead.
I'm also gonna say this about, and I'm gonna say this about, unfortunately, about mermaids. Sailors thought manatees were fucking mermaids.
Yeah, they're so sexy. Have you seen a sailor?
Have you seen a manatee?
Have you been on a base when a ship comes back? And see.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
I'm sorry.
between sailors
most
and marines, they'll do anything. The
most famous sailor that thought that a manatee was a mermaid is a complete jackass known as Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, and he's a jackass, and we don't talk about him on this podcast.
We don't talk about him. We don't talk about Columbus.
We don't talk about the guinea that got lost.
Bruno.
Yeah, I don't see a point in having a large pod of merfolk, because then you have to protect them. You have to feed them. Like, somebody's going to have an extra baby that you don't want to have to deal with. Go leave it on the doorstep of a human or something. I don't know. It's just it's too many people.
Which brings me to remember the movie, I think it was 13, where a mermaid left her baby on a ship because she was being chased by people, and he was raised by humans, but became a mermaid later in life.
Blue does not look like a manatee.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
He looks like a manatee.
I only look like a manatee when I go like this.
Yeah, don't do that, sir. Don't do that. All I'm saying is the fantasy of the mermaid does not stand up against the fear for the sirens. Fear lasts longer than fantasy.
Agreed.
Technically, if you want to get technical.
Technically,
if you want to get technical. Okay, let's see how technical we can technically be.
For seconds
only on a
because
technicality.
how fast you can kill people.
What was that?
The fear of sirens can only last seconds, depending on how fast they're willing to kill you.
But we're gonna let somebody else watch it. It's kind of like we're just gonna let that little story sneak out. It's like that's how you get Old West, where like you come into a town, you kill everybody, you leave one guy, and you say, "Hey, you're alive," because you're gonna go tell all your friends how scary I am, and then they're gonna go, "Oh my god!"
And that is a tactic.
That's a tactic that
people are going to want to go and hunt down the siren that killed their friends, and then they're going to get killed, and then they're going to go get killed, and then
more food, more dinner for me.
Yeah, I agree.
But the safety in numbers things, I feel like living in a group of 3 makes you more likely to be attacked by a group of sharks, because sharks do tend to hunt in groups. They circle and then they make little balls of food.
Okay.
And they eat.
The big sharks hunt singularity.
Point of order, great whites are always alone.
Yeah, great whites are solitary creatures.
Unless they're off the coast of Australia, and that's just nightmare fuel on its own.
Since I'm a magical creature, since I'm a siren, I'm just gonna like sing a little tune and make those sharks go and like swim away.
Does anybody remember
humans?
Okay. It affects everything.
I'm gonna ask real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. I'm gonna ask real quick. Does anybody remember that horrible mockumentary that Animal Planet put out called "Mermaids: The Body Found"?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Right there is my end point of mermaids suck, because they couldn't even make the mermaids look good, let alone make mermaids
okay,
interesting. Because it was so interesting. It was big thing in pop culture. But Animal Planet, which was solely about putting out real information about animals.
They also did the Megalodon movie. So
yeah, that stupid ass Megalodon movie too. But we don't talk about that one either because it's just dumb.
There's nothing to talk about these days.
But it just made people just sit there and go, really? Fucking mermaids?
Yeah. I feel like
they only aired the Sasquatch one that they did once, and then they eliminated it from every platform they had. There's
this like sweet buttercream icing like ideal over mermaids. Mermaids are dreamy and they're special and they're cute and whatever, but sirens haunt people.
Mermaids can lick
legends about sirens still echo. Like people are still scared of this shit. It's awesome.
I did Google the song affecting sharks thing for sirens.
Yeah.
And it says it does not specifically affect sharks.
Well, then I would just make that shark my new boyfriend and we'd be okay.
So you're going to pick a shark?
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Anyway. Kate.
All right.
Let's hear.
We finally have a winner. It's
Shit.
mermaid.
God damn it.
I need a breakdown.
We need a breakdown on points. This is bullshit.
Well, okay, you guys were kind of going
Flag
a little
on the
bit.
play.
Hold on. Hold on. Calm your tits.
I want to recount.
I feel like Trump. I need to know what the recount was. The voting machine
Where's
is broken.
Elon Musk? I need him to rig something.
Voting machine
Oh,
broken.
You guys actually did save yourselves with actually getting some facts straight because the Romans pictured Medusa as a mermaid, not a human being like the Greeks. So there was that. But Jasper's whole thing of killing you guys, like that's that. You don't even get to have your playtime or anything. You're
No,
pretty much
they play with their food before they eat it.
Do you have
But if
any
you
scientific evidence to show that? though?
There's no scientific
How do you
evidence
think
of
more
any of
sirens are
this.
made?
I feel like
How do
I
you think
have a
more
theory
sirens are
on
made?
that.
Sirens mate with a human and then kill him.
I have a different theory. My theory
I'm-
is that all sirens are born as mermaids, but the moment they taste human flesh, they become sirens.
Oh, like the Wendigo.
Yep.
While
You have enough points.
While I honor the judge, I disagree wholeheartedly in this.
Of course you do.
The fact that I didn't get extra points for dressing up.
I mean, I didn't know I was supposed to be doing points for that. I was just doing based on what you guys were like doing in here. So
This is rigged.
It's rigged. It's rigged.
This is bullshit.
How's it
Count.
rigged?
We
Recount.
made the best point ever on the fact that your information was wrong and we still lost.
how about this? We'll leave it to the audience that are in here
How many people do
to
we
win.
have?
Out of curiosity, what was the final score? Or do we not get to know?
50 and 40.
50 to 47.
At some point, you guys were leading. And then
I
Jasper made an excellent point of, you end up dead and then that's that. So, or the whole constant circle of friends going out to kill the siren and
wait,
that siren going out to kill the
For extra points, I'm going to say this. Sirens don't have dead baby daddies.
It's true.
They're just dead baby daddies.
How about this? The fact that you guys were 49 and the fact that they were at 47 and that, I mean, she makes a good point.
Rigged.
And then you had to say the suck your nut thing, so then you kind of dropped yourself. So
That shouldn't be. That's just me being me. You can't dox us points for me saying mermaids can suck my nuts.
They'll suck it down.
Well, a mermaid probably would, whereas the siren's going to bite them off.
Oh no!
After she sucks on them.
A siren would totally suck on it first.
I wouldn't tempt it.
I mean, if she was thirsty
If that
properly.
means she's
Listen,
hungry, she's going to eat the first part that she gets hold of.
I'm going to say this with the amount of crazy exes that I have, and that's a long list. I'm going to say this: they always did suck my nuts before they tried to bite them off. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's the polite thing to do.
can I just also make mention that this was rather hard considering the both are considered of the Fae.
Okay, I think we should let the audience vote.
Okay, Joseph says it should have been a tie.
Joseph, it was a tie at some point. It was 47-47.
Rigged.
I'm just going to say
47-47.
Wait,
It was tied.
I'm going to say this: crockpot.
So, who wound up in the fisherman's net?
Really? You're gonna turn around and talk about
Yes,
a
I'm
gift
gonna
that you
use
gave
my
me
one.
how long ago?
I'm gonna use my one and only card, Crockpot.
I'm also wearing your merch that I bought.
It's the only thing I can do is use Crockpot. Give me a break.
What are we
Back
doing?
when you still had stereo. Was that a
All
hiccup or
right.
bless you?
That was
Yeah.
a hiccup, but thank you.
Yeah.
I still say
Yeah.
it's a tie.
You know what? If you guys want to stick to my original before I said, okay, we need a tiebreaker, then it was a tie. It was
No,
47
we'll let them
47.
win. They can
No,
have it.
yeah, no, okay.
They
Well,
can have it.
we'll give them their win, even though they got actual information wrong and presented
they-
it as truth.
At that point, have higher points than them. Just saying. That's what got you brought back up.
Because
That
he's
should have been
talking-
a major dip in points. Is the fact that they used information that was
instead of Roman
inaccurate.
They got off more points.
Yes, and he used inaccurate information to describe the creature. It's inaccurate.
I did
What is?
dock those.
That should have been
Just
docked.
saying.
That should have been docked way low.
Please tell me what
That's
was
me.
inaccurate.
The
You
Gorgon.
said that she was a mermaid. She wasn't a mermaid. She was a fucking priestess in a temple. We figured this out because
I like Joseph's
Greek
comment.
and Roman history is very different.
Greek
Joseph
history,
says all
she was
mermaids-
one of three sisters. The other two sisters were
Mortal, not creature. She was a mortal being. She was not a mermaid. And she was a priestess in the
mermaids are
temple.
mortal.
She was a priestess in a temple.
You're gonna get
Oh,
little
my
Fane is
God.
gonna pop out in his head right there.
You're talking to somebody who
Oh, my God.
fucking God dang it. Ah,
Okay.
Okay. Joseph, by
Two
the
I
way,
words.
studied
says-
Greek and Roman
Master's
history
degree.
for years. Trust me, I know. Greek history is way different than Roman history. Roman history decided to put its own fucking twist on the fucking Greeks because of the fact that they didn't want to be like the Greeks. But you know what? Then later on, they decided to fucking crucify a guy that said, "Hey, I'm the son of God." And you know what? Fuck this. Everything sucks. I don't care. I quit. Fuck this.
Hey, you know what? I have some extra Zoloft if you need it, because you need to calm the fuck down there, buddy. You're gonna blow a gasket right there.
Calm your tits, Blue. Damn.
No. Bullshit.
This is the wrath of the sirens.
That's pretty much what it is. We don't like losing. But
Oh my God.
in my defense, I'm a pretty terrible winner.
I'm not talking to you either.
What?
What?
No, I'm not you. I'm not talking to Kate. This is bullshit.
Okay.
All right.
So
They should have been disqualified for using inaccurate information.
let's talk about next week's show, because this is only going to get worse.
I need Elon Musk.
I need a new voting machine. I think she miscounted my broken Chad or hanging Chad. What was it called in Florida? Hanging Chad?
Hanging Chad.
Yeah. She miscounted my hanging Chad, or your hanging Chad. I don't have a hanging Chad. So let's talk about the next episode, episode 21 next week.
I don't care.
Kate's on mute. Are you talking, Kate?
She's talking to somebody else.
No, I'm talking
the little
to.
one. What do we want to do? I really don't have anything right now. My brain is shot from misinformation.
Cryptids in Central America?
No. I don't want to do Central.
I want to do another battle. Because actually, this was fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad I suggested it then.
I don't know. Maybe not have me do points because someone's,
Next week.
We're
Next
always
week.
we're
Battle of
always
the
gonna
I'm a
be
sexes.
sore
this way.
loser.
This is not ever gonna change no matter what. We're always going to be this way.
Next week, Battle of the Sexes.
I'm gonna win because I have a vagina.
What? Dude, we lose. We don't win this.
Minute, you guys would lose.
There's 3 of them and 2 of us. We're fucked.
No, Kate is the judge, so we'd all.
It's
we'd
still
also win.
still there's 3 of yous and 2 of us. We're not gonna win.
Well, bring your boyfriend in, Blue.
It's like in my house. I get 1 vote. My wife gets 2 votes. My son gets no votes.
Well, that sounds like a rigged system.
It's because you women always rig the system.
Anyway, no, I want to do another battle. What if we do a battle of big feet?
Why not? We did water element. Why not like fire element next?
I'm down. We need
Okay. Oh, Phoenix versus Firebird.
Okay.
I'd be down.
Good one, Joseph. I like that. Phoenix versus Firebird.
So do we want to keep teams?
I say we keep teams. I like this.
Okay, are we keeping the same team or are we changing it up?
Same teams.
Because Blue loves me.
Okay.
Don't make your eyes all squinty like that when I say you.
What did I do?
Hey, get out of my coffee. Coffee's for closers, not for cats.
All right. So next week, Phoenix versus the Firebird.
What are we taking?
I like the Phoenix.
I say that's to be determined and not give that away.
All right. Yeah. I'll agree with that. Let's we'll determine that after today's show in our post show meeting. Tune in next week to see which team's got which bird.
Oh, I got a bird for you.
Yeah, there's a bird for you.
Here's a couple of birds for you.
There's a lot of birds.
I would give you 3, but I'd get in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want to get kicked off of YouTube.
Hey, stop.
All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining us. Kate, thank you again for being the judge extraordinaire. Even though you were wrong. Anyway.
Figure out a different point system.
Vote for mermaid, so it's Joseph's fault.
I still wanted extra points for becoming a siren for this episode.
You do look very pretty.
She should have gotten extra points for that.
10 points. I wasn't like giving points away for presentation, but okay, 10 points.
All right. 10 points to Gryffindor. Yay! Anyway.
I'm also wearing a pre-Columbian Aztec replica necklace.
No comment.
10 points.
Anyway. Okay. So next week, Phoenix versus the Firebird.
You're the Firebird.
Ah! Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We greatly appreciate you sitting here while we sit here and debate bullshit. We will catch you next weekend. Same bad time, same bad channel. Only here on Cryptid Conversations from the Legends Cave. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Next weekend is Father's Day weekend. Also, don't forget, this month is both Pride Month and also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
I highly suggest you go find yourself a siren. You'll have fun.
Listen, there's a reason why I'm in therapy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't be good, be bad. If you're going to be bad, at least fucking be good at it.
Be bad.
We'll catch you next week. Thank you so much for joining us.